It appears you're positively determined to betray the chief. Yeah, pretty much. As a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I meant, but sure, let's go with that little idea. Alright, very well, I'll ask. Who is the person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forging evidence? The only one I could think of is the one and only Miss Lana Sky. I know it's hard to believe it, but yeah, let's do it. Take that! Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky? The defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in the light of circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would have helped her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SO9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he be profiting of profit from all of this? You give me a sec. Okay, anyways, he would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? I quit the game. Oh, wait. There we go. Oh, you mean, yeah. Oh, you must mean puppet, as in, okay, whatever. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Right, oh my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this is all amount to nothing more than mere conjecture. Wait, gotta burp. Excuse me again. I had a little ice cream before I get some water. Anyways, unless that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. What do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but Chief is now making Lana take the rep to cover up his involvement. What? Yeah, I know, it sounds shocking, but if you think about it, it'll kind of make sense. Order, I said order! God, so rude. Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to a highest-ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's impossible. It was like impossible. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said to easy-to-understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. Oh. There's no turning back for us now. Oh, okay. Looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Which is kind of okay. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? Prove this, Mr. Wright. that the chief of high-ranking officers of the law is involved in this murder? Good question. Regardless of his ranking or title, Chief Gann is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Right, alright then. Show us this evidence that Chief Gann, that ties Chief Gann to the murder of Detective Goodman. Just remember, it better be good. Ah, so good. There's one thing and one thing only that we all know best that he is related in this way. Boop. Eeny, meeny, miny, you. Let's do this. Take that! This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list that we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 77777. I didn't really pay attention to how many sevens I said, but still fucking just all the sevens. All the sevens! Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that that's my number. Card number. It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gann's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits. You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was a 77777. Or just 7 times. Whatever, fuck it. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Here we go. Order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense search of my office was a violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Yep, gotcha, Ganny. Chief Gant, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? What about it? I'm chief of police, whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do in the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. Objection! You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant, I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. Here we go. On the day that you had met Detective Goodman... What do you mean? The trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. Objection! No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? Yep. In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us the proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. Sorry, couldn't catch up with the end. But still, this is getting some intense shit, guys. Yeah. But anyways, here we go. The one thing we can prove it is this. Take that! Detective Goodman lost his ID on that day, on the day of the crime. Or, to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out the lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Yet you're in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if he filled it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. No. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accomplished the detective to the evidence room. Accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? Anyways, there's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman. Yeah, exactly. But wait, the Chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now I'm raising my voice awkwardly, like, yeah. Objection! I didn't pay attention to what Gannon was saying, so... Sorry, that's not possible. According to the record, your card was the only used once. But you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No! Sorry, I didn't want to yell too loud. Ooh, I can actually keep track of my spike. Chief Gant, you didn't. Gotcha. The murder was most likely committed on the spur of the moment. No one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why else? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body. Objection. However, wait, why did you object to that? Anyways, the victim's body was discovered in prosecutor's office's parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? Yeah. Give me a sec. Gotta get some water. This is drying out my throat real fast. And I'm screwing up so bad I'm stuttering. Alright. I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have the entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this here dead body over at the prosecutor's office. Don't you think so? I don't think so. Whatever. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. The one thing I can use against him. I got you. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief used this. Yeah, the one evidence we had for a while. We didn't even believe it would be useful. So here we go. Take that! This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. A parking stub? Miles Edgeworth. You mean... Exactly. The body was found in the trunk of Detective Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Meaning, somehow... Objection. You mean I carried the victim's body? Not exactly. Precisely so. But wait, even you know, I didn't plan on returning to my office after the ceremony finished that day. But you did return. Tell me why. Exactly. I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep a screwdriver at the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the incident, I brought this to the prosecutor's office. Exactly, Edgy. So, let's see. So, let's actually add this all up together now. Technically, he took the item that was being used as evidence, but the item that was also used to open up Edgeworth's trunk. Which, ergo, had Chief Gant open up Edgeworth's trunk, threw the dead corpse in there, make sure to notify Lana right as soon as Edgeworth would probably get there, around the probability of what time around that Edgeworth would be back at the prosecutor's office. What you really took it to the prosecutor's office wasn't the screwdriver. but the victim's body in your trunk. So it finally